Hello and welcome fellow owls to Iron Juggernaut 10-man normal in the Siege of Juggernaut raid. If you're looking for the normal guide, the link is in the description, just click it and it will take you there. And this one is only for the Boomkin fellows. So once again we're going to start off with talents, and the first thing in this footage I'm using Displacer Beast, but you want to use Feline Swiftness. Feline Swiftness is much better. If you're doing this fight correctly and if you're not screwing up horribly, you have no use for Displacer Beast, okay? In phase 1, the only thing that will be of mild annoyance is the mortar. That's the big red circles on the ground, and it kind of depends on how unlucky you get and how many times you'll get targeted. But generally you'll get targeted quite a bit. The circles are not too big, so it's kind of a waste to use Displacer Beast and waste, 2 or 3-ish global cooldowns. It's just much better to have Feline Swiftness so you can cast, I don't know, dots or, instant star surges while you're moving out of it. And in the second phase, if you get knocked back, that's bad. You should not get knocked back, so just stand against the wall or palisade, barricade, whatever. And if you get targeted by the cutting laser isn't that fast, and it will actually help you to have that movement speed bonus from Feline Swiftness, so you're in just no danger at all from the laser, okay? Next, Force of Nature. This fight, as I've said before, requires a lot of movement, so we're finally going to use Force of Nature and train for our new tier set bonus, where basically once you have the 4 set bonus, Incarnation is going to be useless. It's a great set bonus, right? But basically once you have the 4 set bonus, Incarnation will have reduced cooldown. It will reduce its cooldown every time you enter an eclipse, which means it will never align with celestial alignment except for when you pull. So Incarnation is basically going to be useless, so we're going to be using Force of Nature anyway. And Heart of the Wild. In the second phase, there's a lot of ticking damage going on, and your healers might get overwhelmed. So you can just pop Heart of the Wild. You can, throw rejuves at people that are running back to the boss after they've been knocked back, and just call them a doofus while they're at it. Okay, there's no reason to get knocked back. There's just so many things you can stand against. And Tranquility, of course. Once again, communicate with your healers when they have, when they're out of their cooldown, just help them with Tranquility. Next, of course, we're once again gonna ask our raid leader when we're gonna Bloodlust, but you should really Bloodlust at the start of the fight, because there is no better window for Bloodlust in this fight, okay? Even if you have a lot of execute moves, just don't. You Bloodlust at the start of the fight, so everyone has the trinket procs, the weapon procs, and enchants, everything just proccing, and you have all the cooldowns, okay? Next thing on the list is mines, the crawler mines. You can perfectly soak a crawler mine if you use Barkskin and Might of Ursock, so do that. Help your tanks. It's always good because they're already taking a crap ton of damage, so help them by soaking one mine. Don't try and soak it without Barkskin and Might of Ursock. They will just straight up kill you if you don't have like a priest bubble or a very big paladin bubble. So Barkskin, Might of Ursock, soak mines. And that's basically it for this fight. This boss is basically a big training dummy that exercises good use of personal defensive cooldowns or raid cooldowns and a lot of movement. That's the only thing you need for this fight, okay? It's not too difficult for Boomkins. It's kinda easy to do pretty competitive DPS against all the classes. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, this is so far my favorite boss. It's not because it's too difficult or too easy, it's because in the second phase the abilities just synergize so very well. And I hope this was helpful. And I almost forgot, when someone gets knocked back really far, help him with Stampeding Roar. And laugh at him because he's bad. And that's it. I thank you all for watching and listening, of course. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in another guide. Bye bye. And one last thing, the Corcoran Dark Shaman Boomkin guide will come much later, probably next week. There's a simple reason for that. I did that fight as a restoration, and I don't have any experience with that fight, nor I have the footage, okay? On PTR I did it as a guardian, and on live yesterday I did it as a restoration, so that guide will come next week.